more people are having their homes cleaned professionally. We live busy lifestyles, whether you are a mom who works from home, who works outside of the home, or you're in the home taking care of the home and the kids. There are lots of reasons why many of us decide to have our homes cleaned. We recently had our home cleaned professionally for the very first time, and going into the process, I had a few questions. I was curious about a few things, and I thought it would be beneficial to share my experience with you, as you may be considering having your home cleaned as well. Okay, so the type of service that we used was a one-time cleaning, just one-time cleaning. We were not setting up a monthly or weekly or bi-weekly service. We just wanted to have our home cleaned by this company one time. And I'm going to go through the list of things that they did while they were here. They cleaned all the baseboards. They cleaned and sanitized the bathrooms, the sinks, the floors, the toilets, the fixtures, the vanity, the shower, and the tub. Cleaned the entire kitchen. They wiped down the appliance fronts. They mopped the wood floors. They vacuumed the carpeted floors and cleaned the ceramic tile, cleaned all the floors, cleaned our stairway, they polished the wooden stairway. They polished the other wood tables and furnishings in the home, dusted the corners, dusted fixtures like this one behind me. Our service was an hourly rate. However, I'm sure there are probably some companies that will do a flat rate, and maybe you can sort of hand select, if you will, what you want them to do. I know some people use sites like Groupon to try out different companies to have them come in and do a one-time cleaning, or gift certificates as well. Okay, so prepping for the service. This was something that was big because I wanted to make sure that I got the biggest bang for my buck, if you will. I wanted to get my full money's worth out of one of the things that we were particular about is we really wanted to have our baseboards cleaned, and so I didn't want anything to come between the cleaners and the baseboards. So as much as I could, I just removed items so that they could easily get to the baseboards. I'm going to pull out the couches. I'm going to pull this couch out too so that it's easy to get behind the couch. And I have this basket here, and I'm going to move that out so that it's easy to get behind the living room couches, so that doesn't get Another skipped. Thing I did was large spaces, particularly there was a space behind our couch where there's a window. I wanted to make sure that they could clean that entire area, so I gathered up all of those decorative pieces that we keep there, and so that they could really get to that space. And I kept the items there because I wanted to make sure that they dusted those items. So instead of taking those items and storing them away, I left them out to make sure that they were dusted, as well as to make sure that they were able to really clean that area. And in our kids' study, I picked up chairs and put the chairs on top of the futon, just so that they could really get in and clean the floor as well as they could. In this room, I've just put the chairs up. There are some stools right there. I put those up there, and I pulled the futon out so they're able to get around for sweeping and mopping. Because I want to make sure that the area of the floor underneath this rug is mopped and swept, I'm going to remove this rug to make sure that the cleaners are able to clean the entire floor. Also in our kitchen, I pulled containers and things that were against the wall. I pulled those out so that they could clean behind those objects and easily pick them up to clean the full counter. And then I just did some general picking up, just picking up items that I mean, I would have done that anyway, whether they were coming or not, but I just wanted to get items that were out of place and put them back in place, toys and things like that. Another thing that I did was to make sure that all of our personal information was secured. I was here while the ladies were here. My husband was in and out, but I still wanted to make sure that any sensitive documents were in a secure area. Okay, so on the day of a service, 2 ladies arrived, and I mentioned that the estimated time was about 4 hours, I think, and they ended up cleaning for 5 hours. And just some things that happened while they were here. The areas, I mentioned that one of the things that I did to prep for the cleaning was to remove items. I noticed that the areas where I did not remove items, they did not clean behind those items. So in a couple of circumstances, I did go back and remove the items and ask them to clean again in that particular area. I checked the rooms as they cleaned to make sure that it was satisfactory, and that's when I was able to find that there were a couple areas that I really wanted to have clean, but I didn't think about moving. There's a basket in our bathroom, and I didn't move the basket back, and they didn't move it and clean underneath it. So I moved it and then asked them to come back and clean. And another thing is I noticed that the shower was skipped, and so the lead person, there's usually a lead person, I brought it up to her before they left and said, I don't think anyone cleaned the shower. And the second lady that was with her said that she went to get some tool or something and forgot to return to the shower. So I was glad that I caught that, because I would have been pretty upset about that. So some other tips that I think were beneficial during the cleaning process was that I worked alongside with them. They were here for about 5 hours or so, maybe 5.5 hours. And I just decided to take care of some things that they were not going to do. For example, I organized our bathroom cabinets. I swept our laundry closet. I swept behind the dryer where all the lint piles up. I swept that area and wiped down the inside and outside of the washer and dryer. So I just did things like that and cleaned out the refrigerator and did things like that while they were here, just so that when they left I would feel even better knowing that the entire house had been cleaned. If you are using an hourly service, I definitely recommend that you think about the areas that you are most concerned about, because you don't want them to spend more time on the areas that are not as important and not get to the areas that you really want to have done. So one of the things that you may want to discuss prior to the cleaning is those areas that you really want to make sure some attention is given to, because if you have a set amount of time, you want to make sure that they get to the areas that you are most concerned about. Another tip, if you're using an hourly service, definitely get an estimate of the time, whether it's 3, 4, 5, or 6 hours. Try to get an estimate of the time that it will take so that you can budget accordingly. And also, if you have, for example, 4 hours, when they get to hour 2, if you're there, you may want to look around and say, okay, we're halfway there. Let's focus here, or let's focus in this particular area. If you're not going to be there, have them give you a call when they get halfway through your estimated time so they can give you maybe a rundown of what they have done, what they still have left, because maybe you want them just to continue and finish. Maybe you want to go ahead and stretch it. I made a decision, you know, I can stretch it out another hour or two beyond the estimation because I budgeted for a little extra room. So, but you want to be mindful of that if you are using an hourly service. Also, if you're there, check when they finish your room. Go in and check. Don't wait until the end when it's hours later. Go check so that you can let them know then, hey, you know, like in my case, the shower doesn't look like anyone cleaned it. And the lead person who was here, she said, when I did tell her that about the shower, she said, well, we'll go back and clean it, but we won't add it to your time. So anything that they went back to clean, I wasn't charged extra for that time. And also, if you have particular cleaning items that you like to use, definitely leave those out. Bed sheets, if you want to have the sheets cleaned or have the sheets changed, maybe go ahead and take the dirty sheets off and fold up the new sheets and have them on the bed. If you like using carpet freshener, maybe go ahead and sprinkle the carpet freshener before they come. I noticed that this particular company, they don't use carpet freshener, but if that's something that you like, then definitely go ahead. I know I usually use it in my dad's room. I sprinkle it before they clean his room. Also, you may want to open up windows and things like that. If they're using any type of chemicals, you may want to open up windows so that as they're cleaning, some of that fragrance or fumes can be ventilated. One thing I did not do was clean my entire house. And I know some people do that. They know that they have someone coming to clean and they're embarrassed, so they clean their house. But definitely don't do that. That's not recommended. I mean, that's what they're there for, to clean. So you can go through all of that prepping, but I wouldn't go as far as to clean before they clean. I will say that I definitely enjoyed it. When they left, it was nice. Particularly, it really set in that night. Everything just felt so clean. So it was definitely worth it. It's definitely something that I would like to do again. I would like to have it set up to have it regularly. I thought it was definitely beneficial, and I'm glad I did it. And hopefully, if you are planning to have your home cleaned, that going through that process with me and hearing my tips and suggestion and experience has helped you. If so, definitely give this video a thumbs up. And while you're here, definitely check out my playlist. I love to share home management tips and experiences, as well as beauty and style tips, but I'm also passionate about encouraging moms to be happy, to live full and love life. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out my Mom's Timeout, Self-Care, and Mommy Empowerment playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy, blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.